Welcome to Top 10. I'm Lionel. Hey, listen, a great week of football, a lot of exciting action. Some of the good teams took a plunge, and some teams that we didn't expect to be so good this year did well. Interesting, a lot to talk about. It's going to be fun to cover. Watch the Top 10. Let's do it. All right, now we're talking about the top 10 teams. We'll start with the New York Jets. The Jets, Aaron Rodgers, everybody's excited. Aaron gets hurt, he hurts the Achilles. But the Jets are my number 10 team. They pulled the win out last night. Number 9, the Miami Dolphins. Tua and Tyreek Hill, these guys played at a high level at number 9. Miami is on the rise, guys. My number 8 team is the Cleveland Browns. Boy, great defense in Cleveland. They really get after you. They got after Cincinnati. Nobody saw that coming. I like what Cleveland did. They're my number 8. At number 7, the Detroit Lions. They went into Kansas City and they took on Pat Mahomes. They took on Pat Mahomes and won, came out with a win. Detroit, an up-and-coming team from last year. Detroit is my number 7. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence and company. They went to Indianapolis and got the win. They are a nice young team with good players all over that roster with Trevor Lawrence. That's an exciting team, number 6. My number 5 team, they were my number 1, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. They slid down. You can't slide them out because they had some injuries. They had 2 of their best players out this week against Detroit, but they're still in my top 5. Kansas City, they're at 5. At 4, the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens find ways to win. Lamar did not play a great game. He's coming back from his injuries, but he didn't play a great game, and Baltimore found a way to win. I call that an organizational win because they know how to win. My number 3, well, guess what, guys? You got it, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys look like the team that nobody wants to play. Everybody on that defense looked like King Kong. I mean, they were big, fast, strong. Dallas is my number 3. I could have made an argument to make them my number 1, but they're not my number 3 for now. Philadelphia. Philadelphia goes in and they compete against New England in New England. They win the game. They played a solid game for Philly, but they got the win. Philadelphia was my number 2. The number 1 team in the NFL for me, and from top to bottom, from coaching to playing, offense, defense, special teams, San Francisco 49ers. That Brock Purdy guy is amazing. Listen, that's my top 10. If you don't like those 10, put your 10 in the chat. Question me. Whatever you want to do, bring it. But that San Francisco 49er team is a fun team to watch. Top 10 players from this past weekend. We're going to go from 10 on down. Starting with number 10, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill had a great day. I had to make a decision. Do you go with Tyreek Hill or do you go with Tua? I went with Tyreek Hill because it's tougher to get 215 yards receiving versus 400 yards passing. So I went with Tyreek Hill. He's the catalyst on that team. Number 9, Jimmy G, the Los Angeles Raiders. Jimmy G came through down the stretch for them, made a couple key plays. He ran for a first down, and he threw for a first down to ice the game. Jimmy G won the game for the Raiders on yesterday. He was my number 9. Number 8, Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford for the Rams played a pretty much impeccable game yesterday. The guy was brilliant, made some nice throws, looked fresh. Matthew Stafford led the Rams into a victory yesterday versus Seattle. Number 7, Jared Goff. Jared Goff went to Kansas City on Thursday night in Kansas City, where it's tough to play, and came out with a win. Jared Goff took Detroit in there and played at a high level. He's my number 7. My number 6 guy this week was, Baker Mayfield. Baker, the gritty, the scrappy Baker Mayfield. Everybody's writing Baker off. Baker made plays, especially in the 4th quarter. He gritted for first down as he ran with the ball. He made key throws. Baker Mayfield was number 6 for me. My number 5, this week was Jordan Love. Yeah, young Jordan Love in his second year for Green Bay. He takes over for Aaron Rodgers. He made throws. You could see the big arm, but he made throws downfield for Green Bay, and that team rallied behind Jared Love. He was my number 5. My number 4 player this week was, old man Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's always nicked, always injured, but the guy came out of this game this week with 152 yards rushing in the NFL. That's tough to do, tough to get 50 yards. He gets 152 yards. Look good, look vintage. Christian McCaffrey. Liked him yesterday. He was my number 4. My number 3 was Nick Chubb. Big Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb runs like a bowling ball. He's big, he's strong, he's physical. Nobody wants to tackle that running back. Think about him in a winter coming at you and you trying to get your hand on him. He's 230 pounds, he runs like a bull, and he's tough. Nick Chubb was my number 3. My number 2 was Calvin Ridley. Now, Calvin Ridley is a special case. Calvin Ridley is coming off of charges of gambling where he was off the team last year with Atlanta. He got picked up by Jacksonville this offseason. Calvin Ridley had a killer day catching the ball, making plays downfield. He looked really good for Jacksonville. Calvin Ridley was my number 2. My number 1, and how could we argue with this guy, Micah Parsons. I could have picked 3 other guys on Dallas's defense. But Michael Parsons, he lined up all over the field and just blew up everybody. The guy is big, he's fast, he's tough, he's a leader. Everybody watches him when he's on the field. You got to find out where he is. The modern day Lawrence Taylor, Michael Parsons. What a great player. He was my number 1 guy. Listen, guys, that's my top 10. Throw it in the chat. If you question my top 10, bring it. Let's talk about it. Top 10. So everybody loves football, and you cannot play football if you don't have rookies. So let's cover the rookies. I got 3 rookies that I'm going to talk about that did great things this week. I'll start with number 3. Jordan Addison out of Minnesota Vikings. The guy showed that he can catch the long ball, the bomb. Had a nice catch for a touchdown for the Vikes. Jordan Addison stood out for the Vikings. Number 2, Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers out of Baltimore. Made the catch, showed that he could make you miss. Boston College guy, had a really good game for Baltimore. Zay was nice to watch on tape. But the guy that separated himself from the pack was Bijan Robinson. Robinson out of Alabama, running back, now plays for the Atlanta Falcons. Wow, he was awesome. He showed that he can stick his foot in the ground, make people miss, take it to the end zone. That guy was fun. He galvanized that sideline as you watch his teammates pat him on the back. All right, that chat's going crazy down there. I see you guys have questions. Pam, come on and help me, please.
Now, you know I'm going to come over here with the fire. Okay, let me get into these chats. Hey, everybody, I'm Pamela Lowry, and this question's right here going on in this chat. The first question that we have here is from Stephanie G. from Gary, Indiana. She says, can the Jets win without Aaron Rodgers? Now, you know he hurt himself. Can they win?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Look, I like Zach Wilson, but he's still in his only second year. Aaron Rodgers, man, there's only one Aaron Rodgers, so it's going to be tough. It's a long shot for the Jets now. They need to get Rodgers back in there.
Okay, come on now, Aaron, pull through. So we got the next question from Chris M. from Allen, Texas. The question is, what's happening with the Cowboys? What's happening with the Cowboys?
Wow, the Cowboys, man. If they play to that level that they displayed last night, it's going to be tough to contend with them. That was the best defense I saw this week. And look, there were some good defensive efforts around the league. But when the Cowboys are clicking like that, and if Dak Prescott continues to play at a good level, can't beat him.
Now, wait a minute. Are you saying that because you know you used to work with the Cowboys for some years?
No, it is what it is. When I looked at that, it jumped off the tape.
Okay. All right. Now, for the next question, and make sure y'all keep these questions coming in. We have Tom from Atlanta, Georgia. He wants to know, What team disappointed you this weekend in these games?
I would have to say that's the Cincinnati Bengals because I talked about Joe Burrow.
No, wait a minute. You talking about Cincinnati. You know I'm from Ohio. Don't be
Yeah.
talking about Cincinnati.
Yeah, but they laid an egg. Cleveland just dominated them. They were just there. It was like sleepwalking. Cincinnati's got to get it together. What a disappointment. They are out of my top 10 now.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts so bad. Ohio, I'm still showing you some love. Don't listen. So, now let me talk about this. We got Deion Sanders. Now, he done went from the NFL to the HBCU to a PWI, and he's showing them better than he can tell them. What you think about Deion? What you think about Deion?
I've never seen anything like that. This guy, Deion, is just, he's one of a kind. He's dynamic. Every time he opens his mouth, everybody listens.
Yes.
I mean, we're all like little kids, like, okay, what's he going to say next? Because everything he says comes to fruition.
That's that anointing on his life, and that is the neon Deion power right there.
I put nothing past him. I think, put somebody say, well, he can't beat USC. He can't beat the top teams. I would not bet against Deion Sanders. He is doing a phenomenal job. I'm impressed. I watch him. I listen all the time like everybody else. I'm captured.
Yeah, so this is good. And congratulations, Deion. So make sure you keep those questions coming. We want to hear from you. The comments, questions, emails, and more right here on Top 10.
This is Lionel Vital. If you have any questions, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. But just remember, everybody loves football.